The most impressive part of this 18:12 wasn't the time, it was how little her pace changed over 5,000 meters. My initial reaction is this is one of the strongest examples of controlled championship style racing we've looked at in a not parkrun progress report. An 18:12 on the track is a very different challenge to running an 18:12 at parkrun. There are no downhill sections, no GPS shortcuts, no chasing Strava segments, no negotiating corners or other runners on shared pathways. It's just 12 and a half laps of honest racing, and Jess ran them exceptionally well. So we're looking at Jess Bray's 5,000 meter championship race for the Otago champs in the under 20 females or women. Now, she was the only one in her category, but this was an open race where she was competing against all the senior men, the senior woman, where she finished fourth place overall. She beat some of the senior men and some of the veteran men and all the veteran women as well. So Jess did an exceptionally great run, and she can see she's pleased with it. As a result of only doing one speed session, as she had done Challenge Wanaka, an Ironman 70.3 distance event, only a short period of time beforehand. So let's dive into some of the data. The pace is outstanding with splits of 3:38, 3:37, 3:38, 3:42, and then her last one is a 3:38, but the data is a little bit cut off in terms of she finished the race, the GPS track and the track distance did not align perfectly. But her splits are almost textbook championship pacing. The total variation from fastest to slowest kilometre is only 6 seconds across an 18-minute race. That's excellent. Many athletes chasing a fast 5,000 metres open with a 3:25 or a 3:28 and then spend the second half trying to survive. Jess didn't. She stayed within herself early and gave herself a chance to compete for the entire race. The 4th kilometre tells the story. The obvious point of interest is a 3:43 for the 4th kilometre. That's the slowest split, but honestly, that's exactly where I'd expect it. In track racing, the hardest kilometre is often not the first nor the last, but the one immediately before the final attack begins. The race has become uncomfortable. The finish still feels a long way away. The adrenaline hasn't kicked in yet, and that's where races are won and lost. Jess absorbed the difficult section really well. The final kilometre is the most impressive split. After the slight slowdown, she's back to a 3:38. That tells us she didn't crack, she didn't unravel, she didn't run out of fitness. She found another gear when it mattered. That's a huge positive. Now, the heart rate data, you'll see, moves around a little bit. It's quite fascinating, actually. 137 beats per minute averaged within the first K, 186, 194, 195, 161. The first and fifth kilometres are clearly anomalies. The first kilometre of 137 beats per minute is almost certainly heart rate lag. The fifth kilometre at 161 beats per minute is almost certainly a recording error or a sensor dropout, because physiologically neither makes sense. The important numbers are 186 beats per minute, 194 and 195. That tells us she was operating right at race intensity through the middle of the event. This wasn't conservative. This was proper hard running. Now, the power data is incredibly stable. 115 watts normalized power for the first, 306, 307, 302, and 302. I love this because despite accumulating fatigue, increasing physiological stress, and championship racing pressure, the power barely moves. That suggests excellent effort management. Jess wasn't chasing pace, she was racing. And that's exactly what you want on the track. Her cadence is elite level consistent. 180 SPM, 184, 186, 188, and 186. And if we look right in here, the cadence gets up to 192 SPM, or actually up to 204 SPM, or it's listed as RPM here in Training Peaks, but trust me, it's strides per minute. As a maximum cadence on the finishing straight. That suggests there was still competitiveness, aggression, and finishing speed available when it mattered most. Championship racing context matters. The result in itself is impressive. She won the Otago U20 Women's Championship, 4th female overall, and competing in a mixed category race. But what impresses me more is how she achieved it. This wasn't hanging on, this wasn't surviving, this was racing, and there's a difference. The biggest positive for me was Jess never lost her rhythm. The pace varied slightly, and the race got harder, fatigue accumulated, but the biomechanics stayed strong. The cadence stayed high, the power stayed controlled, and she was able to close hard. Overall assessment, this is best described as a highly disciplined championship 5,000 metre performance built on excellent pacing, outstanding rhythm, and the ability to respond when the race became uncomfortable. The hallmark of good track runner isn't how fast they start, but how well they hold their rhythm when everything else or everyone else is starting to hurt. And Jess did that exceptionally well. So that was Jess's Otago 5,000 metre championship performance, an 18:12 built not just on fitness, but on rhythm, discipline, and excellent race execution. What impressed me most wasn't the finishing time, it was her ability to stay composed when the race got uncomfortable, absorb the toughest part of the event, and then find another gear when it mattered most. A lot of runners can run fast when they feel good. The best runners keep racing well when they're hurting. If you'd like me to break down your own parkrun, 5K, or race performance like this, pacing, heart rate, cadence, power, and where your next gains can come from, you can apply for your own parkrun progress report at the link below. Ka kite anō, and I'll see you in the next video.